sa lahat na nakikinig at nanonood at maraming salamat na nasali ako ulit dito sa press conference na to at pasalamat din ako kay Sir Sean na dahil binigyan ako ng presenter ulit na lumaban dito sa US pangalawa na ngayon, so pasalamat ako at sa buong team ko sa Wildcard Jeep.
Maraming salamat, Mark.
Thank you po.
And at this point, siguro bigyan natin ng konting pananalita rin mula kay Coach Joven Jimenez. Coach, konting opening statement lang, Coach.
Maraming salamat po. Una-una sa Panginoon. Pangalawa kay Sir Sean. Siya po yung tatay namin dito sa US. Siya po yung nagbigay lahat. Moral, financial, at lahat-lahat po. Big Boss, maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta.
Thank you, Coach Joven. And now, before we open the floor for questions, I will now turn this over to the Senior Vice President of Big Boss Cement, Dr. Ishmael Ordonez, to give a statement for and on behalf of Big Boss Cement. Dr. Ish, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Nolly. Good morning to everybody, and good evening or for those from other countries. Yes, Big Boss Cement is very proud to be a sponsor and to support our fighters from the Philippines, lalo na si Jerwin Ancajas and Mark Magsayo. So I think boxing represents what Big Boss Cement really shows in a product, and that is a strong and very matibay at matatag na produkto. No? That's what our cement is all about. That's why we have the gorilla. And so it just makes sense that we back up these fighters from the Philippines, and we know that they're going to do well. So thank you, everybody, for also showing support for Big Boss Cement. Thank you, Jerwin and Mark, for, we wish you all the luck, and we know that you've trained hard for this, and we can't wait for you to knock out your opponents. Thank you also to Coach Joven for supporting our fighters, and Sean, you too, for being there in the States for them. These are tough times, but we'll get through this. And so thank you everybody.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ish. Just as an additional announcement to the members of the media, I'm sure this will be asked, but we will already make the announcement now in behalf of Big Boss Cement and in behalf of Signal TV. Big Boss Cement is bringing the fight, the December 10th fight card to the Philippines on the proper day, December 11th. No? That's the day after, or that is actually a slightly delayed broadcast, same day delayed. It will be shown and broadcasted on One Sports and One Sports Plus, courtesy of Big Boss Cement. So this is the support that Big Boss Cement is giving to Jerwin Ancajas and Mark Magsayo, so that the Filipino can see how good our boxers are, and again, to give pride to our country. Maraming salamat po sa Big Boss Cement. All right, at this point, we will now open the floor for questions, and we will begin with the team. Tinito Henson. Tinito?
Thank you, Con. And hi to all the guys from media, my friends. Viva Sean, Jerwin, Joven, Mark. My question is for Viva Sean. Jerwin was laid off for a long while. Was the inactivity a result of some problems with Top Rank now that he's signed up with Al Heyman at PBC? And how was this problem resolved eventually? And my second question is, Viva Sean, can you tell us a little bit more about the opponents of not just Jerwin, but also Mark? Thank you.
Yeah, Dean, so to answer your first part of the question, basically last year, April 11th, this fight was scheduled to take place in Tulsa, Oklahoma on a Top Rank show. Jerwin was in the process of getting his visa when the pandemic hit on March 15th. His visa appointment was March 31st. So it took like 7 months for him to finally get his visa and arrive here in October. By that time, basically Top Rank didn't really have dates to put it on. They kind of lost interest in things, and we had the opportunity to join up with Al Heyman at PBC, who's been very good to all the Filipino fighters. He's been good with Mark. He's absolutely with Senator Manny Pacquiao, fights under the PBC banner. So, we're still good with Top Rank. We're still good with Bob Arum. But this opportunity came up to kind of open up things a little too. If Jerwin is successful April 10th, then we have a chance to fight the best of the best. We have the Rat King, Ron Vasai. We have, of course, Chocolatito and Estrada are going to fight again for the third time. So basically, there was no issues with Top Rank. The issues were with the visa, the dates, the pandemic, like a lot of people have had. So that was really the deal. Now, for Mark Magsayo, he was lucky enough that he had a visa. He was able to get here in July and had a great fight in October to get his career back on track after quite a layoff. And we got to thank PBC, Al Heyman, for resurrecting here and getting Mark's career going. The guy Mark's fighting, Pablo Torres, 21 wins, 3 losses. Just your game, right in your face type of opponent. This is the fight that's going to put Mark into the next step where we talked about hopefully fighting for a world title, either a WBA, IBF Eliminator. So they're both very, very important fights always, because you need to win to keep going to the next step. So that's kind of how we got to where we're at now. And we're just going to be so happy to hear the bell on April the 10th. This has been a long, long time coming.
That's Pablo Cruz or Pablo Torres?
Pablo Cruz. Yes.
What about Jerwin's opponent? Tell us about how dangerous he is.
Well, again, Jerwin's opponents are the most dangerous because 25 years old, Jonathan Javier Rodriguez from Mexico. You look at the records, and recently there was a fighter named Mauricio Lara, 22-3, went to England, fighting Josh Warrington in a non-title fight. Absolutely destroyed Josh Warrington. People said he shouldn't be in the fight before the fight. You look at the record, and you don't really see a lot on the record. A kid I have, Angel Fierro, Mexican kid, just went to Puerto Rico and knocked out the kid there in the 6th round. So these type of guys like Jonathan Rodriguez, again, I told you, it's easy to fight Estrada, Chocolatito, Ron Vasai, because you know exactly what you're getting. You can watch tape of these guys, but one thing Jonathan brings is heart, determination, Mexican style. In his second to last fight, he fought a guy named Felipe Oracuta. Oracuta had given Juan Estrada a very hard fight, very close fight. Basically, Jonathan knocked him out in the 10th round. He was taken to the hospital in a coma, and thank God he survived and he's okay today. But again, coming with a long layoff like Jerwin's coming, there's a lot of variables in this fight. A lot of people overlook fights like this, but thank goodness Jerwin doesn't. He stays focused. Him and Coach Joven been training diligently, really, for the whole year, but really since October, properly since they arrived in the U.S. So I look at Jonathan as a guy with nothing to lose, man. These are hungry guys. They come to bring it all. So they always say it's harder to stay on top than, everybody's coming for the title. Everybody's coming for the crown. So I think it's going to be a very fun and exciting fight, and that's where we're at.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kenito. Next to ask his questions will be Waylon Galvez of Manila Bulletin, and of course the Chase Down. Waylon?
Thank you, Tom. Good morning to Sean and also to Mark and of course Jerwin. Jerwin, alam natin medyo matagal yung pinaghintay mo. So, paano mentally, of course alam natin preparasyon mo physically, naghahanda ka dyan, pero mentally, paano mo pinaghahandaan? Ang tagal mo nag-antay eh.
Una po, para sa akin po, hindi na bago po sa akin na maghintay po ng matagal na laban kasi kung naalala niyo po yung pagkakuha ko nitong belt na to kay Macjo, parang ganito lang din po yung nangyari sir, matagal yung laban, halos umabot din ng taon yun bago na tuloy yung laban. Para sa akin sir, hindi na bago sa akin ng ganitong pag-iintay sa sir, kasi alam ko Panginoon talaga nga lahat dito nagplano lahat nito. Para sa akin hindi talaga ako nawawalan ng pag-asa, hindi ako nawawalan ng ano tawag nito, hindi ako nawalan ng kumbaga yung preparation ko nito. Hindi ko talaga inano na baka wala ng laban, ganun. Ano lang talaga ako sir, focus talaga ako dito sa laban na to, kung kailan, kung saan man, ganun yun ang talagang nasa isip ko lagi sir.
One quick follow-up lang, Jerwin. Parang less than 3 weeks from now, laban mo na. Sa tingin mo, nasan ka from 1 to 10, nasan yung pagiging, yung preparedness mo, nasaan ka?
Para sa amin sir, lagi naming sinasabi ni Coach Jerwin hanggang sa laban. Ngayon, nasa 95% na po kami sa laban o 90% po kami nasa ano na. Prepare na po kami sa darating na laban sir.
Okay. Mark, this is for you naman. Ikaw naman, of course, alam natin, ready ka na din. Pero syempre, malayo sa family, halos mag 1 year ka na dyan. And ganito yung sitwasyon natin with the pandemic. Paano mo handle lahat ito as a boxer? Yung family mo nandito, yung nasa isip mo lang, Mark.
Good morning. Mentally ako, matibay talaga namin na pinagandaan ng mga pagdating ng laban. Ang pamilya, nag-aantay lang sa Pilipinas palagi at nag-good luck sa amin. At ako, sanay na rin ako na malayo palagi sa pamilya, kaya focus na lang ako sa training, sa laban, at pinagandaan namin yung darating na laban.
Thank you, Mark. One question for Sir Sean. Sean, how do you see this fight with Jerwin, of course, and also with Mark? It's been a long time for these two waiting for their respective fights. How do you see the fight going?
First I see Mark's fight, like all of Mark's fights, exciting fights. He likes to mix it up. He boxes. He's in and out. The guy he's fighting is pretty one-dimensional. Just wants to come get in your face. I could see Mark somewhere in the fight, possibly scoring a KO in the middle rounds. And Jerwin's fight, I think it's going to be explosive. I think it's going to be a Mexican-Filipino rivalry. You have the great, when the Mexicans fight the Filipinos, they take it up to another level. There's just something about that that the Senator and Barrera and Morales and Marquez all, developed this rivalry. So I'm cautiously optimistic. Never look past anybody, but I believe Jerwin's real skills will pay the bills. I think Jonathan Rodriguez is a tough, aggressive game guy, but at the end of the day, Jerwin's been a champion now for over 5 years, and I see him, winning possibly later in the fight, just breaking him down as he does most of his opponents. He's just like a surgeon. He slowly breaks him down like he did Israel Gonzalez, like he did the Japanese. So I see a great fight though. I see a lot of action, and people that tune in, they're definitely gonna get their money's worth watching Sunday.
Alright, thanks, Sean. Mark, good luck. Jerwin, good luck. God bless you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Waylon. Ang susunod kong magtatanong ngayon is Dennis Gasgonia of ABS-CBN News Online. Dennis?
Hey, good morning everyone. Good morning Sir Sean. Jerwin, magandang umaga. Coach. Tatanong ko lang, Jerwin, kasi ngayon align ka na sa BCC, mapalabas yung laban mo sa Showtime. How does it feel to be fighting dun sa same group na humahawak dun kay Manny Pacquiao?
Una sir, para sa akin napakalaking opportunity po na makalaban. Unang laban ko dito sa Showtime, sa PBC, at excited po kasi alam po natin na nandito yung sila Sir Manny, nandito yung Mark, halos mga malaking pangalan po nandito sa PBC po, at sobrang tuwa ko po na nandito po sa PBC, at salamat ako kay Sir Sean na binigyan kami ng pagkakataon na makalaban po dito sa promotion po ng PBC po.
Then, kasi parang ito na lang yung inaantay natin yung unang laban. Hopefully, magkasunod doon. And nabanggit nga ni Sir Sean na maaaring makaharap yung mga tulad ni Toro Bitay, o kaya ito pala dito, no? Ano pakiramdam na, kasi for so long, nag-ahanap ka ng title unification, di ba? At andito, lumalaki yung posibilidad na mangyayari ito. So, anong pakiramdam na you're one step closer para ma-lead ka sa katuparan?
Kaya po itong laban na to, sir. Ito talaga yung pinopose ko ngayon. Talagang, kasi parang ito yung susi na makalaban ako sa unification or sa mga plano ni Sir Sean, lalo na sa mga may mga pangalan katulad kay Rong Bisay. Lagi naming hinahangad na makalaban sila. Ito yung kaya itong laban na to, sir, pag igihan ko talaga at ibubuhos ko yung kung ano man yung pinag-training namin, ano man yung kalaman sa boxing. Ito yung pinakaano ko na laban talaga, sir. Excited, sa totoo lang excited na ako sa laban na to, sir, kasi yun nga po, matagal akong na-lay off din sa laban at excited ako sa makakalaban ko po.
One question lang si Mark Magsayo. Mark, ano ba yung tingin mo sa mga kalaban mo na to? Hindi mo sabi lang pag-isabi yung kalaban mo. Anong description mo sa kalaban mo?
Yung kalaban ko, pareho kami ng laban, mas lamang na siya ng konti kasi may tatlo siyang talo. Tapos ako, 21 wins dyan. Pareho may 21 wins. So, ano siya, forward siya lagi siya nag-forward. So, ang style namin ni Coach Freddy, gusto niya nakautin namin daw eh, sabi ni Coach Freddy. So pakita namin pinaka-the best niya sa laban.
Okay, ayun po. Maraming salamat sa inyo.
Maraming salamat, Dennis. Isa pa lamang mo, Mark, mas gwapo ka, saka mas bata.
Sakto lang sir.
34 na yata yung kalaban mo, no, Mark? Tama? Alright, ang susunod po magtatanong ngayon is Joseph Ramos from the Business Mirror. Joseph?
Good evening to all of you. Good morning sa atin. Kay Jerwin lang, I would like to ask this question. Sino nagmo-motivate sa'yo or sino ang inspirasyon mo sa laban na to? At of course, kanino mo siya dinidedicate itong fight against Rodriguez? Sa April 10.
Unang-una po, talagang ano naman po talaga sa family, sa amin, sa survival camp, sa team namin sa survival, sa lahat po ng mga sumusuporta sa akin, sa mga naniniwala sa akin sa larangan ng boxing, lalo na sa kina Coach Juben, Sir Sean, at sa inyo po lahat po na naniwala sa akin, sir. Yun yung kayo po yung kumbaga kayo din po yung isang dahilan na na motivate ako dahil sa inyo, sa suporta ninyo sa akin, at lalo na po sa ano din po sa Panginoon po, salamat ako na tawag dito sa binigyan niyang pagkakataon ng makakalaban ako ulit, sir.
Okay. My other question is for Mr. Sean Gibbons. Sir, I would like to what is your plan for Jerwin under TBC? Do you have any upcoming plans after this fight?
Yeah, well, like I always said, you never look past anybody. We're not looking past Jonathan Rodriguez, but I feel we're gonna win. So, yeah, coming out of that fight, we're absolutely targeting again the gentleman from Thailand, Rongvasai. Rongvasai, I think, is kind of the odd man out now because he was supposed to get a rematch with Juan Estrada, but it looks like they're going to do Estrada versus Chocolatito 3. So that's always a fight Jerwin liked. He loves the style, he loves the fight. So we hope we can get that. If not, we just got to get right back in the ring and try to do something in the next 3-4 months while we wait. But he's absolutely, this year, going to have a signature fight. There's been a lot of criticism over the years about he hasn't fought the top guys. Well, we're ready now. It's not our fault before. We couldn't, for various reasons, couldn't get those fights together. But we've spoken to Eddie Hearn. in regards to Wangosai. We love that fight. That's really, really the fight that Jerwin wants. So that's kind of the plan. And if not, just try to get a little activity since he's been out of the ring for, close to 15, 16 months.
My last question is for Mark. Mark, after this fight, are you hoping that you'll be in a world title fight soon after this fight, after your fight against Pablo Cruz?
Opo, at kung papalarin ako sa darating laban sa April 10 at manalo tayo ay sana nabigyan na tayo ng world title fight ni Sir Sean. So, pagbutihin na lang natin at pagitan natin ng galing ng Pilipino.
Anong saan ka na ngayon? Ensayo.
Kondisyon na kondisyon kasi since November pa ako nag-training. Hanggang ngayon, nag-training pa rin. So, ready na. 8 pounds over, no problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joseph.
Thank you for watching.
And Sean, those are words from Mark. Huh? You better give our boy a world championship fight soon, Sean. Huh? All right.
Definitely the plan. Definitely the plan.
Next one to ask her questions will be Virgie Romano from Saksi Ngayon. Ma'am Virgie?
Hello, good morning.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead, Virgie.
Good evening. I have question for Mr. Shan. Hello, Shan.
Yes, good evening, or good morning, I mean.
Good evening. Yeah. Is this fight going to be without the audience?
Yes.
Jerwin. Oh, yes. So,
Yeah.
Since the fight will be staged without audience, is there any adjustments or agreement made in regards with the purse money of that Jerwin is going to receive?
No, everything's the same with the purse. The only difference is I've been in a few bubbles. I've been in fights where there's no fans. Mark Magsayo can tell you he fought where there was no fans. When that bell rings, it don't matter if just one person or 10,000. A fight's a fight, and I've seen some tremendous, unbelievable fights. Yeah, you always love to have fans because you like the crowd noise and the cheering. But I'm telling you, these guys, when the bell rings, they just kind of zone it out, and the fight starts. It doesn't matter if there's fans or not in there. It's still tremendous action.
So no changes regarding the purse.
Correct.
Yeah. So for Joven Jimenez, coach,
Yes, ma'am.
medyo matagal-tagal na hindi nakalaban ito si Jerwin. Tingin mo, sapat na ba yung ensayo natin or yung paghahanda natin para sa kanya or hindi tayo... Kasi ang alam ko mula nung nagpunta kayo dyan sa US, hindi naman kayo tumitigil sa pag-ensayo. Wala namang overtraining na nangyari or sakto lang. Ano ba sa tingin mo?
Kami ma'am, binabantayan ko palagi si Jerwin sa training. Unang-una, tuloy-tuloy yung training namin. Wala kaming pahinga mula noong January, sa Dipolog pa po kami. Ngayon, ang training niya kailangan minsan hindi ko ituloy. Minsan bawasan ko yung volume para hindi siya talaga ma-overtrain. Last sparring niya, kalaban kay Scrappy 6 rounds. Maganda yung pinalabas niya, maganda yung kondisyon niya. So naniwala ko na sa laban na 100% kaming maganda ang kondisyon.
One last question. Bali pang siyam na title defense na ito ni Jerwin. Hindi niyo pa ba napag-uusapan na umakyat ng timbang?
Well, tungkol sa pag-akyat ng timbang, nag-uusap naman kami ni Jerwin at sinabi naman niya na kaya pa niya mag-115. Gusto niya talagang maka-unify. So, kami, nag-aantay lang po kami kay Sir Sean kung anong mga plano niya sa amin. Basta kami palaging ready sa laban dahil ayaw namin na itong pagkakataon na binigay sa Panginoon na masayang namin.
Thank you. One more for Mark Magsayo. Mark?
Yes, ma'am.
nanalo ka dun sa laban mo kay Hermosil. Ano yung bagay sa galaw mo, na dapat mong, tingin mo ba dapat mong pagtuunan ng pansin at baguhin para dito sa susunod mong laban, para kay Pablo Cruz?
Pinapokusan po namin ni Coach Freddy ngayon ng stamina, paakyat sa bundok, takbo sa bundok. Kasi yun pong parang tingin ko kulang sa estilo ko. So yun ang pinapokusan namin ni Coach Freddy. At progress naman yung mga training na mga ginagawa namin ni Coach Freddy. So yun po ang strategy namin ngayon.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you. Thank you, Virgie. Susunod po magtatanong from Spotlight TV, Fred Dokdokil. Fred?
Mabuhay, everybody. Good morning to everybody from across the ocean. For those of us here in Los Angeles in the U.S., good evening. To our beloved fighters, Jerwin and Mark, mayong gabi. So my question is for Jerwin. My first question is for Jerwin. Jerwin, how difficult is it to maintain that hunger, that edge as a champion, knowing that obviously this past year that we're in a global pandemic, right? And that affected your last fight. But even before that, back in supposed to be November 2019, us here in Los Angeles, specifically in Carson, we were looking forward to supporting you in your title defense, which also, due to unforeseen obstacles, got pushed back. How hard is it to maintain that, that championship mindset?
Paano sa
Tagalog
English?
lang.
Tagalog lang sir. Una-una po, bilang champion po talagang, yun nga po, nasabi ko sa kanila sa ibang media din na itong champion ko parang habilin sa akin to ni Magsayo eh. Last kaming ni Magsayo, yung huling round namin, yung nanalo ako against sa kanya, parang hinabili niya sa akin tong belt na to at yun yung parang sa akin na talagang pagtiyagaan ko habang ako yung nakahawak nitong belt nito. Kumbaga, yung binigay na laban ni Magsayo para sa akin, sir. Kurang ganun din yung ibibigay ko sa lahat ng mga gustong kumuha yung mga tawag nito, mga challenger ko po sa 115 sa IBF po. Parang yun yung naging ko sir mindset ko talaga na ibubuhos ko sa lahat ng mga makakalaban ko, lalo na dito sa kalaban ko ngayon kay Rodriguez po. At yun yung namin sir, lalo na si Coach Jerwin, lagi naman si Coach Jerwin na ni Coach Jerwin sa akin na kung anong mga plano namin sa mga laban sir.
Thank you, Champ. My second question, this is also applicable to Jerwin, but more so with Mark. Obviously, in all of your fights, you have the weight of the Philippine flag behind you, right? But do you feel any added, burden, so to speak, of carrying on the legacy of amazing Visayan champions, including obviously Jerwin?
I look up to Senator Manny Pacquiao because he's my idol, and since 2005, he's my superhero. So I want to be like him, and I will do my best to become a world champion.
Daghang salamat. Ayo, Jerwin and Mark. Thank you so much.
Thank you, salamat.
Thank you so much, Fred. The next one to ask their questions again. We will allow one final listing, please, for the members of the media who would like to ask their questions. We will have now Ron De Los Reyes. Please ask his questions now. Thank you. Ron, nakamute ka. Ron, nakamute ka. Ron, please unmute.
All right. Yes, good morning. I wanted to ask Sean about the audience, but this was already asked by Virgie earlier. So I'd like to focus my questions to the two boxers. Looking at you, Jerwin and Mark, parang at home na kayo dyan sa Amerika, no? At considering that nagkaroon ng winter dyan, and how are you able to adjust to the weather and also to the situation in the US? Especially for Jerwin, ano? Kasi una siyang lalaban. Well, for the first time, he will fight in the US.
Sa awa naman sir, no, yun nga po, salamat ko na at least naka-adjust na kami sa klima dito, lalo na minsan malamig bigla kasi dito lalo na dito sa ini-stayhan namin, minsan mainit, may time na mainit din sa labas, pag mayang hapon naman sobrang lamig. Kaya mas ngayon sir, parang komportable kami na nandito kaysa nandyan pa kami, at saka yung tawag nito, yung pag ng klima sir, yung importante din talaga sir. Yung pag-adjust ng klima ang importante na maanuhan namin, kasanayan namin dito sir.
Jerwin, patuloy pa rin ba ang inyong pag-observe ng mga safety protocols, health protocols, considering na mataas pa rin ang cases ng COVID sa Amerika?
Opo sir, yun din po talaga yung inaano namin, lalo na kami na minsan nag-jogging kami sa labas, pero ganun pa rin sir yung namin, hindi kami ganong lapit sa mga tao, at saka may mask kami pag tumatakbo, kahit na doon kami sa wildcard, kasi stricto din kasi doon sa sir, wildcard mag-training, at saka dito minsan lang din kami lalabas dito sir, talagang mula nung pag-abot namin dito nung October, hindi kami lumalabas masyado kasi yun nga, na kami sa COVID po.
Okay, isang question na lang for Jerwin, ano? This will be your 9th title defense, ano? At for the first time siguro, walang manonood na live audience sa'yo, no? Ano sa tingin mo yung magiging adjustment? Will this be different from the other fights that you had before?
Yun din po sir, inano na natin yung mindset natin sir, na talagang kung walang tao, meron talagang yung laban. Sabi nga ni Sir Sean, laban talaga, kasi itong kalaban ko, parang nakikita ko yung sarili ko sa kanya nung naghintay ako ng matagal na bigyan ng pagkakataon ng World Championship. At yun yung inano ko sir, kahit na walang tao na manonood, pero yung mindset ko talagang itong laban na to, hindi birong laban to, at ibubuhos ko yung galing ko dito, at hindi ko basta-bastang ibibigay itong hawak ko na belt sir. At yun po, at paano ko sa nagpasalamat ako sa kay coach na nandito palagi sir.
Okay, maraming salamat Jerwin, at good luck sa iyo at kay Mark, and thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, Ron. We have about 4 more members of the media who will be asking their questions. We will close this after Nick, Mike, Carlo, and then Jerry will be the last one to ask the question. All right, so now we will go with the questions of Nick Dionco from Manila Bulletin. Nick?
Hey, good day to all of you. Good evening sa inyo dyan sa US. And good morning dito sa Magsayo sa Pilipinas. Questions for kay Jerwin muna, no? Jerwin, andyan ka October, ano? First week of October ka nandyan, ano? So by the time na lumabang ka, 6-7 months ka na nandyan sa Amerika. And kailan mo lang nalaman na mapapalaban ka? Paano mo nilabanan yung una mo na yung pagiging homesick, tapos yung posibilidad nga na parang there was a time parang walang nangyayari, no? Ensayo ka ng ensayo, tapos wala tayong parang wala tayong makitang dino kung mapapalaban ba hindi. Kasi kahit ako nga, pag tumatawag ko kay Sean, parang hindi pa rin niya masabi kung kailan. Meron bang time o stage dyan na dumating pumasok sa isip mo na hindi na siguro ako dahil parang wala rin, parang hindi ako makakuha ng laban?
Yun yung sinasabi ko talaga, sir, na ako, sir, habang ako sa boxing, nandito ako sa boxing, hindi ako mawawalan ng pag-asa na hindi makalaban kasi unang-una, nagtiwala ako sa Panginoon, sa mga plano ng Panginoon sa akin, sa karir ko. At una-una, nandiyan yung mga tao na binigay niya, ginawang daan niya na tumulong sa akin, sa amin, sa team. Nandiyan si Sir Sean, nandiyan si in the promotion, nandiyan yung mga lalo na kay Coach Jobin, hanggang basta nandito pa ako sa boxing, hindi ako na, yun yung isip ko, sir, yung sakripisyo ko sa bilang din, sir, ama sa mga anak ko, yun yung nag-ano sa akin. Itong lahat na to, sir, sakripisyo ko para sa kanila din, sir.
Alright. Another question for Sean. Sean, you mentioned earlier about giving Jerwin a signature fight this year. A lot of things are happening. As you said, Chocolatito and the other guy, Gonzaga, Estrada are being lined up to fight for the third time. But when you mean signature fight, can you name names if you can, Sean?
Absolutely. Of course, Rong Masai from Thailand. You have Joshua Franco, who holds a version of the WBA title. He holds a regular championship. Anybody with a belt, the Japanese champion, possible. The good thing fighting with PBC and Al Heyman, we're open to anybody. Al's willing to, work with any of the promoters out there, anybody that can make the fight we want. So that's kind of what I mean with signature fight. Jerwin's fought a lot of good fights. Israel Gonzalez has gone on to do tremendous. Jerwin pretty much handled him. The Japanese fighter, and a few other defenses along the way. But there's that, you always want that one, that big name that everybody recognizes, that boxing people and media say, oh wow, that's the guy. We know this guy, he beats that guy. So that's really the type of fight we want by the end of the year. And hopefully with Chocolatito and Ramon Gonzalez fighting, we can get, Rong Masai from Thailand. Love to get the Rat King.
All right, thanks very much. Final question for Mark Magsayo. Mark, gaya nun, ikaw mas matagal ka rin dyan sa US. Parang July ka yata dating dyan.
Opo.
Ganun din, yung kay Jerwin din, paano mo nilabanan yung siyempre kahit pa paano, naisip mo siguro na bumalik lang kaya ako sa Pilipinas. Pumasok ba sa isip niyo yun? Kasi parang dito sa Pilipinas, mukhang tama yung ginawa niyo, nag-stay kayo dyan. Kasi dito talagang, although may mga laban na dito, hindi pa rin kasing, hindi ka kagaya dyan na talagang nag-open up. Na talagang nagsisimula ng bumukas ng boxing. Mark?
Nagtiwala lang ako kay Sir Sean Gibos na bigyan ako ng laban sa Amerika kasi pag umuwi pa ako sa Pilipinas, mawala yung momentum sa training ko at tataba lang ako doon. So, nag-continue ng training ako dito at nagtitiwala lang ako sa gym ko, sa gym namin, sa Wildcard at saka kay Sir Sean.
Alright, thanks very much guys.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Salamat. Ang susunod na magkatanong ngayon is Mike Ochoa ng Manila Standard. Mike?
Thank you. Pasensya na, wala akong video.
No problem.
Boses muna. I just have several questions. I'll start with Oven. Coach,
Yes, sir.
kamusta?
Mabuti po, mabuti po.
Andito na tayo. Malalapit na naman. Meron akong tanong, Coach, hindi lang kita nasusundan kasi masyado nung pag-ano, umalis kayo. You remain to be the head coach, no, of the team of Team Ancajas.
Yes po.
Meron ka bang ibang kasama ngayon sa coaching staff mo?
Meron sir, si Sir Brendan Gibbons, yung assistant ko po ngayon sa laban ni Jerwin.
Okay. Nabanggit kanina ni Jerwin na nagpupunta din siya sa wildcard. Meron na nagkakausap pa kayo ni Freddy doon o meron bang assistant si Freddy doon na tumutulong sa iyo o do you collaborate din?
Paano lang po, pumupunta po kami doon, sparring lang po sir sa mga fighters nila sa sa wildcard. Mga fighters nila na katimbang ni Jerwin. Yun lang po ang punta namin every Wednesday and Friday po.
Opo. So you remain to be the head coach of the coaching staff, no, of Jerwin.
Yes po, yes po.
Tapos si Brendan, okay. May kalugtong akong tanong, pati si Jerwin, no? Nung mga ilang taon nakaraan, mga 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I went up to survival camp. Nakapag-dinner nga tayo doon, Jerwin, no? Naalala ko pa yung pagkakataon na yun, no? Binibisita ko kayo doon. One thing that we talked about was in the survival camp, pinag-usapan niyo yung gutom. No, yung hunger, no, Joven, no, yung gutom na makarating tayo, nasan tayo ngayon. Ngayon, several months ago, nagpunta tayo ng Amerika. Kung mamarapati nyo, syempre, masasabi naman natin na ang buhay dyan, madaming amenities, no?
Yes,
I'm sure nagpupunta kayo sa wildcard, nakakotse, maganda yung pinag-trainingan nyo kumpara doon sa survival camp natin na talagang ginawa natin talagang, di ba, Spartan, no? So ang tanong ko, meron bang sa tingin mo, Boven, bilang coach, na nawala sa gutom ni Jerwin nung napadali ang buhay dyan? At kung meron, ano ang adjustment mo? So, and then next question is kay Jerwin. Jerwin, may naramdaman ka bang parang kakaiba dun sa gutom mo?
Para sa akin po, wala po akong nakikitang kakaiba ni Jerwin. Yung buhay namin sa Pilipinas, sa survival camp, sanay kami na wala kaming boxing ring, walang punching bag, punch meet lang kung saan saan na kalsada, sa ilalim ng mangga, ilalim ng sagingan. Pag dito, nag-training kami dito sa wildcard, hindi naman, wala kaming nakikitang kakaiba sir. Wala akong nakikita sa kanya na kakaibang nagbago yung ugali niya, nagbago yung ano niya. At ako naman lahat ng oras nakatingin sa kanya at binabantayan ko siya. Yan.
Jerwin, ikaw?
Para sa akin sir, ganun din sir. Wala namang pinagbago sa amin dito sir sa camp. Yun, kung ano lang, yun nga, may mga gym na maganda na trainingan namin dito din sa sir, yung sabi ni coach, pumupunta lang kami sa wildcard talaga para sa ring, yung sukat ng ring, parang maano namin yung ring, kasi dito kumbaga parang survival camp lang din yung ginawa namin dito sir, kasi dito lang kami nagti-training sa bahay po, dito sa backyard lang din po namin, kung nakikita nyo sa mga ano po sa YouTube.
Alright, nakikita ko.
Opo, parang ganun lang din sir, yung kumbaga yung focus at saka ano namin, walang pinagbago sir sa ano, kung may nadagdag siguro, hindi na naman sa laban na namin ipapalabas sir.
Okay. Last question ko, kay Mark lang. Mark, nung nagpunta ka dyan, kay Coach Freddy ka na nagpunta. No? Bago, before that time, hindi ka kay Coach Freddy nagka-train, ano? So, pagdating mo lang dyan, that's the time na sa wildcard ka kay Coach Freddy ka nag-umpisa, tama?
Aba, noong January 2020, pumunta na kami at nagsabi ako sa kanya, Coach, pwede ba ako mag-training sa inyo? At sabi niya, sige, kung pwede ka na dito, sabi niya. So, nagpaano na ako sa tapos, kasi na-lockdown, kaya sabi ko nakapag-public.
Oo nga. Actually, pag tinanggap ka ni Freddy, sabihin, may potential ka. No? Yun ang unang magandang nangyari doon. Ito ang tanong ko, meron ko bang nakitang binago si Freddy sa estilo mo? Dahil alam natin, matagal ka sa isang grupo, di ba? Matagal ka nag-train doon at sabi ng marami na yung training style doon ay halos isa. No? Yung distansya ng paa, yung galawan na in and out, yung jab. Alam mo yung pinag-usapan mo. Dito ba, meron bang binago si Freddy? At nabanggit mo kasi kanina, go for a knockout kick. Di ba? For flex, in the next fight. So meron bang binago si Freddy?
Meron po, simula ng pagdating ko, binago nila, tinanggal yung mga wild na suntok ko. Yung mga suntok ko dati, yung mga sobrang wild na suntok. Parang papatay ng aso, no? Kaya, bago nila yun, ginawang, kahit na job straight na dapat suntok, dati wild, masyadong wild eh. Kaya tinanggal ko na yung Coach Freddy at dinagdagan yung footwork ko.
Nahirapan ka naman sa adjustment o okay na sa'yo? Matagal ka bang
Noong muna, hindi pa ako naka-adjust, siyempre hindi yung galaw ko eh. Kaya ngayon, naka-adjust ko na sa next na laban, papalita ko na Magsayo.
Sige, hintayin ko yan, Mark. Okay, good luck to both of you. Sean, thank you for supporting our Filipino boxers. Thank you.
Salamat po.
Thank you so much, Mike. All right. Ano lang, apologies kay Nick, nabanggit ko kanina Manila Bulletin. Thank you si Nick yung po. Nick, pasensya na. Ano yan eh, nakasanayan ko. Panahon pa ng pagkaka-commissioner ko, nasa Manila Bulletin. Alam ko, nandun ka pa rin. All right, our second to the last who will ask the questions today is from One Sports. Yan, tama yan. Carlo Pamintuan. Carlo?
Thank you, Com. For Jerwin lang, nabanggit na rin ni Sir Sean kanina na pag napag-uusapan yung super flyweight division, nabanggit si Sorong Visay, si Estrada, si Chocolatito, may frustrations ka ba, Jerwin, na hindi ka pa pinimension alongside those names even if nakakarami ka na nga na title defenses and champion ka since 2016?
Hindi naman sir kasi yun nga para sa akin parang ginano ko pa rin yung sarili ko na hindi pa siguro ako ka-level na pero ano sir umasa talaga ako sir na makaharap ko sila at kumbaga ipapakilala ko yung sarili ko sa kanila at pero hindi ko sa ngayon sir yung focus ko talaga itong laban na darating ko ngayon kasi ito yung daan na ano ko sila kumbaga makaharap at maka-level sa kanila.
Salamat, Jerwin. Para kay Mark naman, alam natin, no, yung assistant trainer ni Coach Freddy Rocha Wildcard is Marvin Somojo, his long-time trainer. How has it been working with him? Marami ba siyang natutulong sa'yo? Kumusta yung relationship ng dalawa, Mark?
Siya po yung nagtatanong-slip sa akin pag meron akong di naintindihan kay Coach Freddy. At siya po nag-handle sa akin sa laban at saka sa training. At tinitrain din niya ako pag pagod si Coach Freddy, siya din na nagpapaswit sa akin. So, malaking tulong din silang dalawa sa akin talaga. At nag-improve ako every training ko.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you po.
Carlo, okay na?
Yes, Tom, all
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlo. All right. Now we will go to our final member of the media who will ask a question to the panel. Jerry Ramos of Spin.ch. Jerry?
Hello po, good evening sa lahat ng mga guests natin dyan. First question is kay Jerwin. Jerwin, ito siguro na yung pinakamahabang panahon na hindi ka lumaban, no? Tingin mo ba mamimibago ka o medyo may kalawang pag-akyat mo sa ring this April 10?
Para sa akin sir, para sa akin kasi ano sir, wala kaming tigil sa training. Para sa akin hindi ako na maninibago na hindi na ako maninibago sir kasi yung tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung training kahit walang laban, kung kailan yung laban. Nung doon pa kami sa Dipolog, talagang yung training namin tuloy-tuloy sir hanggang ngayon sir. Palagi ko hindi ako manibago at siniset ko na yung sarili ko na ibuhos ko tong ano ko sa boxing, nalaman ko sa boxing sir.
Jerwin, tsaka kay Mark, kamusta ang timbang nyo ngayon? On ano ba kayo? On track?
Sa akin po, okay na po sa akin. Siguro mga 8 pounds, ready na po.
8 pounds, no? Kayang kuhanin in 3 weeks, no? 3 weeks, Si Jerwin, ikaw?
Ngayon po, nag-maintain po kami sa 10 pounds sir kasi nung nakaraang week po na nakuha ko ng maaga yung 8 o ano, mas madali kong nakuha ngayon. Kaya ngayon sabi ni coach, ano ka muna, maintain ka muna kasi parang na ano din si coach na bigla yung nung unang week po kasi mabilis pong bumaba ng timbang. Kaya sabi niya, itong week na darating doon na kami ano talaga kasi may sparring pa kasi kami nung week na yun sir.
So nakakakain ka pa ng maganda, no?
Opo, ano pa sir. Kakain na sir. Kasabay pa naman sir.
Kay Coach Joven, Coach.
Yes.
Joven, sabi mo nagkikita kayo nila Coach Freddy sa wildcard. May mga binibigay din ba siya sa yung pointers tungkol sa mga galaw o kilos ni Jerwin kahit paano?
Wala naman po sir kasi busy sila doon sa baba, sabay yung training. Kaya kami lang doon sa taas po. Hindi sila nakakaakit na sa taas sa daming boxer po nila.
Pero nagtatanong-tanong ka rin ba kay Coach Freddy?
Hindi pa. Sa sunod na sir, nahiya pa kami. Nahiya pa kami lumapit. Kahit pa picture nga, nahiya kami sir. Kaya sa sunod po, kaya tanong-tanong na kami. Kinakaibigan pa namin sir.
Okay. And one last final question kay Sir Sean. What's the plan for both boxers moving forward? Are they going to stay in the US for a while or go back home for a moment?
I think after Mark fights, it depends how quick we can possibly get him in a world title fight. That'll depend on what he does. And I got to talk to, of course, his wife, who's always a tremendous help, Miss Frances Magsayo. Want to thank her too for everything she does for Mark. Able to let Mark just focus on training and fighting. She takes care of everything for us. Wonderful to have. Jerwin, of course, yeah, he's definitely gonna go home for a little bit. He's been away from his family through the holidays. He missed the birthday of his son, Kyrie. So definitely gonna go back to the Philippines for a minute, regroup, see how quick we can get him back in the ring. Of course, you always gotta wait till April 10th to really make decisions. You can talk about what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do it, but until the fight happens, you can't make 100%. But that's kind of the plan. What we're looking at.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you so much, Jerry. All right, before we end, let me just ask a few things lang. Unahin ko muna kay Coach Joven. Coach Joven, sino magiging sparring mates ni Jerwin so far? At meron ka bang pinaplano?
Ang una pong ka-sparring talagang dinala namin dito at pinakiusapan namin si Jonas Sultan. Tapos nung mga last month na nakiusap kami kay Sir Sean na magkaroon ng ka-sparring sa wildcard. Kaya nakuha namin si Christian Robles at saka si Scrappy Ramirez po. Dalawa sila ang tumulong kay Jerwin sa sparring po.
Okay. Mark, the same thing. Sino mga nagiging sparring mo ngayon sa wildcard, Mark?
Mga boxer nila Coach Freddy, si Marcito Gesta, saka yung mga Meksikano na lumaban kahapon, taga-Oxnard po sila. Hindi ko alam yung mga pangalan eh. At saka yung last na South po, Meksikano, si Oscar. Oscar Acevedo, at undefeated din po. So, magaganda po yung mga kasparin ko, magagaling po, malalaki sa akin. So, mas nag-enjoy ako sa training, sa squad.
Yan lang ang tao nag-i-enjoy na pinubugbog, ano? Sarap, ano, Mark?
Nag-enjoy kami. Marami pong matutunan eh.
Additional question for both Mark at saka kay Jerwin. Sino magiging nasa corner mo sa fight night? Mark, ikaw muna. Ando ba si Coach Freddy at ang catman mo? Sino magiging nasa corner mo?
Ang magiging corner ko po, head trainer si Coach Freddy at si Coach Marvin. At meron po silang catman na kinukuha sa PBC na po sila. Taga-PBC.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Jerwin? Sino ang, of course, Coach Hoven will be there. Sino ang magiging catman ninyo?
Assistant.
Ang assistant daw namin si Sir Brandon Gibbons po.
Siya na rin ang catman. Siya na rin.
Yes po.
Yeah, the cut man supplied by the PBC. It's I can't think of his name, but they have two cut men that work both corners, depending on who it is, and they're both very good friends of mine. They're both great cut men. Danny Milano and I'm drawing a blank on the other.
All right.
And Mike, so good stuff.
One final question, I guess, to both boxers. Alam natin na dumadami pa rin ang kaso. Jerwin, sabi nga ni Sean Gibbons, we have plans of coming back to the Philippines. Meron ba kayong vaccination? Have you been given vaccinations? Is that something that is being required by the fighters? When are you going to get this, and is this going to be available to all of you? I'll start with you, Jerwin.
Kami po, ako po, kami po nila Coach Jerwin dito sa mga kasama ko, na-vaccine na po ako, sir. Pfizer po yung vaccine na inano namin, sir.
At wala namang epekto sa'yo? Wala naging epekto? Kahit na ano?
Wala man po. Yung ano lang, yung pagturok, yung parang normal na tinurukan ka ng ano, sir, yung vaccine na mangalay lang yung ano, kamay mo, dalawang araw o parang ano lang, parang tawag niya? Yung pamao?
Masakit.
Yan lang, sir.
Masakit, okay. Ikaw naman, Mark, have you gotten your vaccines also?
Wala pa po, pero test kami twice a week.
Okay.
Wala pa box.
Sana nga makuha mo rin kung hindi bago after the fight. Alright, before we end, Sean, I will give it to you. Can you break down the fight card, please, for the members? Yeah, I know that there are other fights on the card on April 10. Can you give us the other main events of this coming event?
Yes, in the main event, it's a sensational fight with an up-and-coming kid named Jerwin, undefeated from Philadelphia, fighting Sergey Lipnitz, kind of a gatekeeper. Guy's fought for the world title. He was an IBF world champion. Tremendous fight. That's 12 rounds for the IBO title. Then you have a kid named Eugenio Stanionis fighting Thomas Delorme, another 50-50 type fight. Stanionis, kind of that undefeated kid looking to make a name, looking to take a step up. That's a Marvin Samudio fighter. Thomas Delorme's fought everybody, another guy that was a champion along the way, and that'll be a world title eliminator. Of course, Jerwin, Mark Magsayo, and then there's a couple other undercard fights, but those three main TV fights on Showtime are all 50-50, 60-40 type fights. Really, really exciting fights. So it's like I said, it's quite an honor to be on Showtime. This will be Jerwin's first fight on Showtime, and there's a lot of people watching this fight. A lot of media, a lot of people are looking for Jerwin to get past this fight to go on to that next big step. And same with Mark.
All right.
And I know that real quick, I just want to thank a couple people. Jonas Sultan, One Punch Jonas. He's been here since August 1st. He's been very instrumental in helping Jerwin, working with Jerwin. We're looking at potentially getting him a fight before he comes back to the Philippines. And of course, we have the Olympian, Yamir Felix Marshall. Yamir's been very instrumental in helping and working with Jerwin, holding the pads, working with the coach. So it's been a really good team, Philippines here. Everybody's got along real well. Yamir's working for his goal. That's a gold medal in the Olympics. Jerwin to defend his belt, Jonas for an opportunity. So I've been very happy and very pleased for what we've been able to accomplish here. And I think April 10th, that's going to show. And then Tokyo in July is going to show for Ymir Felix Marshall also. So it's been very nice over there.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sean, for putting this all together and giving us, another opportunity to see all our fighters try to bring back glory for the Philippines. I will finish the press con with a few words from our boxers. Unahin ko muna si Mark Magsayo. Mark, final words mo to our members of the media and of course the Big Boss event.
Thank you for having me here and maraming salamat sa mga Pilipino sa sumusuporta at pagdasan niyo po kami ni Champ Jerwin Ancajas na manalo sa laban namin darating ngayong April 10 at sana ay pagpalanan po kami manalo at ikabayan mo kami lahat sa darating naming laban. Maraming salamat po kay Sir Sean, sa TV ko, Team Wildcard, tsaka sa manager ko, tsaka sa kay Sir Alheno. Maraming salamat at tsaka sa Big Boss.
Maraming salamat, Mark. Good luck. At ngayon, huling pananalita, Jerwin, ikaw naman ang magbigay ng iyong final words para sa media at sa Big Boss.
Unang-una po, nagpapasalamat po kami talaga sa tao na laging sumusuporta sa amin sa team namin sa survival camp. Kay Sir Gilbert Cruz po sa Big Boss Cement, kay Ma'am Pin, sila po yung nag-ano sa amin, baga isa sa mga tao na tumulong sa amin, kay Sir Sean na nagbigay ng opportunity makalaban ako ulit at sana po pagdasal niyo po ang aming darating na laban at sana suportahan niyo po kami sa darating namin na laban na walang masamang mangyayari sa amin lalo pati na sa mga kalaban namin at maraming salamat po sa inyo sa mga nandito ngayon sa nanood, mga media, lalo na kay Sir Kinito, Sir Joseph Ramos, sa inyo Sir Noli, at sa lahat po nang hindi ko mabanggit, sa kay Sir Dennis Grisgunya. Maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta po lagi sa amin, sa mga boxer na nandito, at sa lalaw na sa mga team ko na nandito ngayon sa harapan ko, sila Ymir at saka si Jonas Sultan na talagang ang sakripisyo nila. Si Marvin at saka Sir Brendan, Sir Sean, nandito lahat. At sa survival camp, maraming salamat sa Dipolog, Pitra Cement. Maraming salamat sa inyo, sir. Pagbutihin ko talaga nitong laban ito at kayo ang mga dahilan na bakit kami nagsasakripisyo dito, sir. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. God bless po.
Maraming salamat. And of course, Mark, we will all be praying for you. Sana nga tayo maging matagumpay sa araw po na laban. Again, to the members of the media, maraming salamat. Final reminder, this fight on April 10 will be shown on April 11 courtesy of Big Boss Cement. Lahat po yung fights na binanggit ni Sean will be aired on One Sports and One Sports Plus. And ito po ay handog ng Big Boss Cement. Maraming salamat kay Engineer Gilbert Cruz, ang kanilang presidente, and of course Chief Company Innovator, si Dr. Ish Ordonez, ang Senior Vice President. Sir, thank you so much for being here and your support. Ma'am Pen, Sir Charles Miraflor, si Richard has been very busy putting this together, and of course the Signal TV, kay Vito Lasatin, and Ma'am Shena Olaso, thank you. We will bring the fight on April 11, and hopefully one of our own hits, Kilito, will be there to join us in the fight. So let's just pray for Jerwin at kay Mark na sana magtagumpay ang Pilipino muli. Marami po salamat sa inyo lahat sa inyong pagsama sa ating virtual press con at mabuhay po kayo. Stay safe everyone. Again, marami pong salamat sa inyo lahat.
Viva Filipino!
Viva! Yes! Big Boss! Woo!
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Sean. Good luck, man.
Thank you. Thank you. See you, Mark. Sir Mark.
Thank you for watching, guys.
Don't forget to mention our YouTube channel.
Oh, shit.
YouTube channel.
Follow YouTube. Jerwin Sports.
Marvin mabait.
Pala po sa YouTube channel.
Nagkagulo na
Follow
mga
your Mirror
vloggers,
TV.
Wala na vlogger.
Please subscribe to the channel.
Brenda, Yumir,
Oh,
Thank you, Dean.
dito.
Ay, dito na.
Jim, come in. Dean. Hold on one second. Jonas, go. Jonas.
It's time.
Oh, boys, one punch man.
Brenda,
Yo, Dean.
Sir, dito kami.
pamilya. Mark, si Francis naman. Si Francis.
Wala.
We in the picture.
Pakita na natin.
Mark.
One shot, Cap. 1 second.
Marvin.
Mark.
Marv.
Marvin, Marvin TV. Gentlemen, we have a blast from the past here. Mr. Marvin Maybach. The champ is here. Coming back.
All right. Ready? 1, 2.
Ay, doon yung
All right. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kamera dito nakatingin.
Ando pa kami.
Doon pa daw. Sana all. Ano ba?
See you, Dean. See you, Mark.
Ano, look.
Dang.
Dang.